Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has shaken Port Charles and left fans reeling with shock, betrayal, and one jaw-dropping revelation after another. What began as a custody battle between two once-loving parents has now spiraled into a courtroom saga filled with secrets, emotional confessions, and a twist that no one, not even the characters themselves, could have seen coming. Michael Corinthos and Willow Tate once shared what many in Port Charles believed to be a stable and loving marriage. Their family included not only their daughter Amelia but also Wiley, Michael's biological son, with Nellie Benson, whom Willow helped raise as her own. Together, they created a home filled with hope, healing, and the promise of second chances. For a time, it seemed their family was built to last. But behind the smiles and quiet domestic life, cracks had begun to form. The foundation shattered when Willow's affair with Drew Kane came to light. The betrayal devastated Michael and tore the family apart. The affair not only ended their marriage but also triggered a fierce legal battle over the custody of both children. Hurt and betrayed, Michael sought full custody of Wiley and Amelia. Willow, consumed by guilt but determined to remain a mother to at least one of her children, pushed back through the court system. At the time the trial began, Michael was hospitalized, recovering from serious burns suffered in a recent incident. His condition was fragile, and he remained under medical care with limited communication. As a result, Carly, Michael's mother and Wiley's grandmother, stepped in to represent Michael's interests in court, ensuring that his side of the story would be told. The courtroom was packed as Carly presented her arguments. She emphasized Michael's devotion to both children, his long-standing role as a father, and his desire to protect Wiley and Amelia from instability. Her arguments were strong, and they carried emotional weight, especially among those who knew how dedicated Michael had always been to his children. But still, without Michael physically present, there remained a shadow of doubt. Rick Lansing, representing Willow, took every opportunity to use Michael's absence against him, portraying him as too weak, too absent, and too hurt to be a reliable full-time parent. Then everything changed. Midway through the trial, as the courtroom buzzed with tension, the doors opened and Michael Corinthos entered in a wheelchair, his body still bandaged, his face partially hidden by layers of gauze from the burns that had nearly taken his life. Gasps filled the room. Carly froze. Willow's expression turned to disbelief. Michael's eyes scanned the courtroom before settling on the judge. Despite his condition, Michael's voice was steady. He asked to be heard. Granted permission to speak, Michael wheeled himself to the front of the courtroom and addressed the judge directly. What followed was a calm but powerful condemnation of the betrayal he had endured. Michael spoke not only of the emotional toll Willow's affair had taken on him but also of the impact it had on their children. He described nights spent wondering why their marriage had unraveled, how Willow could betray their vows, and what kind of environment that infidelity created for Amelia and Wiley. His message was clear: Willow's moral failings made her unfit to raise the children full-time, especially Amelia, who had always looked at Michael as her father. He argued that a stable environment mattered more than biology, and that stability, he claimed, was something Willow could no longer provide. Willow, visibly shaken by Michael's appearance and his words, took a moment before asking the judge to allow her to speak. With trembling hands and tear-filled eyes, Willow stood and turned to Michael and the court. She admitted to her affair with Drew. She apologized, not just for the betrayal but for how it had caused pain to those she loved. Especially Amelia. Then, in a voice that wavered but did not break, she revealed the truth she had kept hidden for years. Amelia was not Michael's biological daughter. Gasps echoed through the courtroom once again. Carly's jaw dropped. Diane looked stunned. Drew stared ahead, eyes wide but unreadable. Michael was speechless. Willow continued, saying she had kept the secret not to hurt Michael, but because at the time, she believed the truth would only complicate their lives and endanger Amelia's sense of security. She had allowed Michael to believe Amelia was his daughter from birth, and he had raised her with all the love and responsibility of a father. But now, in the interest of honesty and with the custody case looming, Willow said she could no longer keep the truth hidden. When asked who the real father was, Willow hesitated and then shook her head. She refused to reveal the identity. She said the man was no longer in her life and had no involvement in Amelia's upbringing. She insisted that her only focus was ensuring Amelia remained in a safe, nurturing home. Despite everything, she pleaded with the judge not to punish Amelia for her mother's mistakes. Then came the final twist of the day. Willow voluntarily relinquished her claim to Wiley. She said she had no intention of tearing Wiley away from Michael and Carly. He had always been Michael's son, and she believed that maintaining that bond was best for him. But for Amelia, she made a heartfelt plea that she be allowed to remain her primary guardian, regardless of the past. The judge called for a recess. The courtroom emptied in a storm of whispers and speculation. Carly was overwhelmed. Michael sat quietly, his mind racing. Years of memories with Amelia flashed through his thoughts, her first steps, her first words, bedtime stories, school plays, quiet moments in the park. Could all of that have been built on a lie? Did it even matter? When the court resumed, the judge returned with a ruling that acknowledged the complexity of the case. Given Michael's physical condition and the emotional volatility surrounding Amelia's paternity, the judge ruled in favor of shared custody for Amelia, with Willow retaining primary residential guardianship. Visitation rights for Michael would be scheduled and reviewed periodically as his recovery progressed. As for Wiley, full custody was awarded to Michael, with shared access granted to Carly. Willow was granted limited visitation rights with Wiley, to be expanded based on the child's emotional response and continued therapy. The courtroom absorbed the verdict with a mixture of relief, grief, and confusion. Michael stared straight ahead. He didn't react visibly, but his eyes were red, and his shoulders seemed heavier. Willow sat back in her chair, breathing hard, her body trembling. Drew remained silent, his earlier confidence erased. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed. The scandal was headline news. Michael Corinthos returns from near death to fight custody battle, only to discover Amelia isn't his daughter. Port Charles was once again the center of media attention. In the following days, the aftermath unfolded with tension across the town. Michael, though heartbroken, made it clear he would continue to be a presence in Amelia's life. He told Carly that biology meant little. What mattered was the love he had for that little girl, and nothing would change that. He resumed treatment for his burns while working with his legal team to solidify the new arrangements and ensure that Wiley's transition was smooth. Willow returned home with Amelia, but her household was filled with unease. The secret she'd kept had finally surfaced. Her relationship with Drew grew colder. Trust was eroding. The weight of the trial, the public fallout, and the reality of losing Wiley began to take a toll. Amelia asked questions Willow wasn't ready to answer. Carly, protective as ever, began moving legal steps to ensure Amelia had security in case Michael's health worsened. Diane suggested preparing contingency plans. Carly didn't want to see Amelia leave the family altogether. As for the true identity of Amelia's biological father, the mystery lingered. Speculation ran wild through Port Charles. Names surfaced. Old relationships were dissected. But Willow kept quiet. She said only that the truth would hurt more people than it would help. For now, she asked for peace and focus on the children. In the end, the courtroom battle ended not with a clear winner, but with lives changed forever. Michael had been betrayed but gained clarity. Willow had lost a child but reclaimed part of the truth. Carly had fought fiercely, and though wounded, emerged with her family intact. And Port Charles, always watching, always whispering, now waits for what comes next. We will dive deep into the captivating romantic possibilities for one of Port Charles's most beloved characters, Jason Morgan. With a heart full of loyalty and a life often shrouded in danger, Jason's journey to find lasting love has kept fans on the edge of their seats for years. In this extended exploration, we'll uncover 5 potential romantic paths for Jason, each brimming with unique chemistry, untold stories, and the promise of heartfelt connections. From rekindled sparks to surprising new faces, let's dissect these pairings and imagine the emotional roller coasters that could await Jason in his quest for true happiness. 1. Sasha Gilmore Corbin, From Friendship to Forever? First on our list is the intriguing dynamic between Jason and Sasha Gilmore Corbin. What began as a platonic bond, bolstered by their shared pretense as fake parents, has slowly evolved into something that has fans buzzing with curiosity. Their quiet moments of understanding, often unspoken but deeply felt, hint at a connection that transcends mere friendship. Picture this: late-night conversations over coffee at Kelly's, where Jason's stoic exterior softens as Sasha shares her dreams of a simpler life. Could these tender exchanges lay the foundation for a romance no one saw coming? While some viewers initially recoiled at the thought of this pairing, citing their unconventional start, a growing faction of fans now sees the beauty in their shared resilience. Both have endured profound loss and betrayal, making their potential union a story of healing. Imagine a poignant scene where Jason, ever the protector, stands by Sasha during a personal crisis, revealing a vulnerability that draws them closer. Could this storyline blossom into a love that surprises even the most skeptical of viewers? 2. Anna Devane, a simmering connection ready to ignite. Next, let's turn our attention to the enigmatic Anna Devane, whose history with Jason crackles with untapped potential. Their past kiss in Africa was a fleeting moment of passion that left fans yearning for more, though the writers dialed back on their romance shortly after. Yet, the undercurrent of attraction remains undeniable. Their friendship is built on a rare mutual understanding, a shared language of secrets and sacrifices that few others in Port Charles could comprehend. Remember the clandestine agreement to meet in Jason's room above Bobby's for private talks? This setup feels like a tantalizing breadcrumb, suggesting the show might revisit their chemistry. Envision a stormy evening when Anna, wrestling with a dangerous case, seeks refuge with Jason, their conversation turning from professional to deeply personal. The tension between duty and desire could reignite old flames, leading to a romance filled with high stakes and whispered confessions. Might the writers be holding back only to deliver a sweeping love story for Jason and Anna in the future? 3. Carly Spencer, Best Friends or Soulmates? Of course, no discussion of Jason's love life would be complete without mentioning Carly Spencer, his lifelong confidant and partner in crime. Their bond, forged through years of unwavering loyalty, took a romantic turn when Sonny Corinthos was believed to be gone, culminating in a wedding that blended mob strategy with genuine emotion. Though they've since settled back into friendship, the embers of that romance still glow for many fans. Picture a heartfelt moment where Carly, facing a new threat to her family, turns to Jason not just as a friend, but as the one person who truly sees her. Their history offers a rich tapestry of trust and unspoken longing. Could a single glance or touch unravel years of restraint? Some viewers dream of a future where Carly and Jason reconsider their just friends stance, perhaps after a life-altering event forces them to confront buried feelings. Their story could be one of rediscovery, proving that sometimes the deepest love hides in plain sight. Will the writers seize this opportunity to reunite these two in a way that shakes up Port Charles? 4. Sam McCall, A Love That Defies Death. For many longtime fans, Jason's ultimate happily ever after lies with Sam McCall, the love of his life whose tragic fate left hearts broken across the fandom. In the unpredictable world of soaps, however, death is rarely the end. Could the show orchestrate a miraculous return for Sam, whether through Kelly Monaco reprising her iconic role or a daring recast? Imagine the emotional impact of Jason walking into the hospital, only to freeze at the sight of Sam, alive against all odds, her eyes locking with his in a moment of raw, unspoken history. Their reunion could be a masterclass in second chances, exploring how time and trauma have reshaped their love while reigniting the passion that once defined them. Perhaps Sam returns with a secret from her time away, a hidden child, or a dangerous past that pulls Jason back into her orbit. No other pairing carries the same weight of destiny as Jason and Sam, making this potential comeback a storyline that could redefine his future. Could the stars align to bring this epic romance back to life? 5. A mysterious newcomer, love from a hidden past. Finally, let's speculate on the thrilling possibility of a brand new love interest for Jason, someone tied to his enigmatic time undercover as Alan Jacobs. What if, during those shadowy years, Jason formed a deep connection with a woman who knew him only by his alias? Now, picture her arriving in Port Charles, determined to find the man she fell for, a man who vanished without explanation. Her search could lead to a dramatic confrontation at the pier, where Jason, torn between his past and present, must decide whether to let her into his dangerous world. Let's call her Elena Harper, a fiery journalist who once risked everything to help Alan on a mission. Her persistence and fearless spirit could challenge Jason in ways he's never experienced, while her outsider perspective offers a fresh lens on his life. Naturally, Carly would bristle at this newcomer, questioning Elena's intentions in a fiery clash that tests Jason's loyalties. This storyline could delve into themes of trust and redemption, as Jason grapples with whether to embrace a love untainted by his Port Charles baggage. Could Elena, or another new face, be the key to unlocking a lighter, happier chapter for our brooding hero? Conclusion: Jason's heart hangs in the balance. As we've explored these 5 romantic avenues for Jason Morgan, one thing is clear: his path to love is as complex and unpredictable as the man himself. Whether it's the slow-burn potential with Sasha, the charged history with Anna, the deep-rooted bond with Carly, the dream of Sam's return, or the wild card of a new flame, each possibility offers a unique flavor of romance to spice up his story. Which pairing do you think holds the most promise for Jason's happiness? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. Stay tuned to ABC General Hospital Spoilers for more updates on Jason's journey and all the drama Port Charles has to offer. Until next time, keep watching and keep wondering who will ultimately win Jason's heart.